At the moment, I'm in 3. James, you were in Playground of Hate. What else are you doing?
I was in Playground of Hate, but I can confirm that Joz, this person was in Haters Enough and Three-Way Hole Grinder prior to Cross My Kids.
Three-Way Hole Grinder.
He
I've
was.
never heard
Three-Way
of it.
Hole
Sounds
Grinder.
good.
That was
Right.
his original band. Yeah.
Fantastic. What's yours?
Yeah, I was in Ether Rag, various other shitty bands.
Yeah. Ether Rag is the best fucking grindcore in Australia. Does.
Ether, yeah.
Open Way.
That's your good band.
I was in Omnicide Noise and what else? Sorted.
We've all played.
I
We know
can't-
each other from various other bands.
Yeah. Warsaw is currently in Legal Aliens as well, who are fucking sick.
I think I've been dead actually, but
Yeah.
And this guy has the monopoly on guitar in the scene at the moment. I mean, how many bands are you in at the moment? Like half a
3 or
dozen?
4, but
Yeah.
none of them are good. None of them are good.
Oh, Numbskull's getting a lot of
Not
work.
very
Getting there. Yeah. Anyway, next question.
3 of them are good.
Why should people go to shows in your opinion?
In our opinion, is it our shows or just shows in general?
Shows in
Because I
general.
can't give them a reason to come to Alpha. Maybe they want to lose
It'd be
teeth.
very irresponsible decision.
Go to shows in general because
You should be
it's
supporting
not
local
football season and
scenes.
it beats jerking off.
Just support kind of like local bands.
Yeah,
rather than
there's
sitting
really
at home on
there's so many
Netflix.
bands out there and there's just not enough punters out there, man. I think we're becoming a bit
Exactly.
apathetic about it.
Yeah, we are. There's too many of us sitting home watching Netflix or
Yeah.
sitting behind a poker machine or something.
Yeah,
Off your
that's it.
asses, go watch some live music.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
What are some of the good things about the Aussie punk scene right now?
Not me, because I'm a dick. Blast beats, songs that go for 3.5 seconds, songs about smoking weed, songs about drinking beer, songs about being sober. That's all I got. What you guys got?
That didn't sound like the answer to the question. What was the question?
Australia's always had a reputation for producing
What's-
great
yeah.
bands.
Best thing about shows.
Yeah, the best thing about going to punk shows is what do you
No,
get
the
out
best
of
thing
it?
about the scene at the moment, Australia's
scene.
always
Why
had
do you still do it?
we've always had a good reputation for producing good bands in Australia, and Sydney in particular, and we're influenced by it. So hence why, I mean, Sydney, Melbourne, we've always had a reputation for like,
Yeah.
but we were just talking about the Celebrate Rifles prior to,
Yeah, that's it.
and like, I mean, we're sounding nothing like that, but
We're still influenced by it purely because it's,
Yeah.
I think there's an energy or a sense of humour that relates in Melbourne and Sydney punk and in Brisbane as well. It's just
yeah,
it's kind of like a nationwide thing that we've got
East
now in the
Coast
punk
thing.
scene.
there's a lot of camaraderie as well.
Yeah, definitely.
What
Tries
thing-
to be anyway.
What things could be improved in the scene in general?
I just reckon there needs to be more venues.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I think.
More spaces to play at.
Yeah, more venues.
More
Sure.
venues.
More spaces to
Venues,
play
yeah.
at, which should probably just increase crowds
Yeah,
and
more
kind of get more
venues,
people out.
Instead of
people
playing the
conversing
same
more.
three shitholes over
Yeah,
and
people
over.
talking more to each
Yeah.
other about organising shows rather than having 6 shows booked on the same night. That sort of thing.
Yeah, a bit more people working together rather than having like an abundance of little factions here and there, putting on shows if they could all get together.
I'm sure he'd have some really insightful shit to say about this, but he
You need to interview him. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
He's
need-
the reason why you should come and see our shows
Yeah,
because
you come see
it's
our
more of a
shows.
visual spectacle.
he interviews himself and shit.
Yeah.
So how is Sydney, like playing in Sydney, compared to other places in Australia like Melbourne or other places
We've
around
never
the world?
actually. I don't think we've left Sydney.
As
I know
with
we've been
this,
to
with
Brisbane.
this band we played in
Been to
Brisbane, but it was the worst show we've
That
ever
was a
played.
train
and
wreck.
Darren wasn't
It was a
there.
train wreck.
We've in our other bands we've played interstate. I
Yeah.
do know in Melbourne you really have to work hard. Like they really do stand back
Yeah.
and analyse your first words. In Sydney, if the crowd's pissed, they'll get into you.
Yeah, Melbourne's fun though. I think they dance more once you've impressed them. They tend to
Yeah.
get into more. Sydney's still got that whole like go on impress us kind of look in some factions.
Is it still kind of smoke in the
Yeah.
What?
Oh no, there's a bit of smoke over at the Melbourne
Next time.
time.
How has the lockouts affected the punk scene in Sydney?
Well, we don't play any more gigs really in the CBD.
Yeah.
Like with this band, we never really did. I don't think.
We
like,
haven't
we
played-
used to like in the last 20 years, used to play in the CBD all the fucking time. Whereas
Yeah.
since the lockout laws, I don't think I've ever played in the CBD.
Yeah, we had one venue and that was it.
Yeah, it was the
From
Valve
what
of the
I- from
town.
But that's
Oh,
not even really
yeah.
CBD. It's
Yeah,
very
it's
fucking
like in
outskirts.
towards the inner west.
True,
anyway, but
true.
From what I've seen, all it's done is move it out of the city and into the suburbs, like this sort of giant.
And it's moved it into kind of less venues that are not
areas.
licensed.
Yeah, that's it.
So we tend to play in venues like this and
It's
Like-
more fun playing places.
We like playing in places like this because you don't have like kind of restrictive kind of laws and so on. But I don't know if a lot of punters know about these places and they're kind of hard to publicise.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can people are coming out to gigs for sure.
Yeah, it does. It has affected people coming out to gigs. I mean, they're not familiar with the venues.
So what are your thoughts on the community aspect and how everyone kind of knows each other?
Well, that's what kind of for me personally, I mean, well, all of us, I've been involved in this thing for like 20 years on and off, and it's just, you know the people, you keep coming back, you can kind of like...
Well, none of us would be mates
Yeah.
if it wasn't for it.
It was all either Blackwire Records or Trade Blackwire or some shit talking about it. And I think if that camaraderie wasn't there, I personally would have either left or dropped out of the punk scene for a little while.
And you can kind of come back to it 12 months later and you'll still know a lot of people
Yeah.
and still walk into it, you know, still won't feel lonely.
Yeah, that's it.
And kind of like a collective for, I don't know, all the guys at school that kind of like were by themselves at the playground
Yeah.
or something. It's kind of been a magnet for the punk scene.
The kids getting shoulder barked in the corridors and stuff.
Yeah.
That's where we meet. It's good.
Yeah, pretty much. So anyone's welcome.
Yeah.
Sorry. Any crazy stories that have happened at gigs or whilst, going to a show
you need
or
to speak
just
to-
playing?
You need
This
to
guy
speak
just
to me.
rolls around on the floor and
He's
gets
live
kicked in
on.
the head with steel caps.
Speak to
and-
this guy. Speak
I
to
forget
Yeah,
how many
ends up
injuries
injured
I've
every time we
sustained,
play.
and I know I don't have many teeth left.
He's the human punching bag.
Yeah, human punching bag, man. Chump change.
That's why I tell people like visually we're worth watching. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the only
visually.
reason people watch us.
you need to watch him.
Curiosity,
This guy. Yeah. That's why we have dual vocals.
Yeah.
Visually, it's a spectacle.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with that. Do you think the underground should stay underground?
I don't think it's a choice of should. I think it's just will.
Yeah, pretty
It
much.
doesn't really have a choice. Whatever you offer mainstream-wise, there's always going to be something that counters it.
But now with obviously kind of social media and so on, and people more relying on like alternative forms of media, whereas
Yeah.
in the past it was just radio and television. I mean now
And
with the-
zines and stuff now.
Yeah.
It's all online.
now it's not all online, but I mean there's a lot more accessibility to it. But I mean there's so much more out there competing with it online.
Yeah,
So-
that's it.
So what are your thoughts on bands that started out on a small underground local level and have just shot up due to Triple J playing them or just people flying out
Shit.
there?
No, actually,
I-
they're okay.
I'm happy for
I
him,
don't
man.
resent it.
I don't resent it at all,
Yeah.
man. I've said it in my
I'm fucking
previous
happy for
interview.
Yeah, only people that resent that sort of shit are either jealous,
Yeah.
petty,
Yeah,
individuals, you
like
know?
I mean, if we had one of our
Shitting-
songs on Triple J, we wouldn't be knocking it. We'd be like, wow.
Shitting on someone else's
I
success
would
is a
be.
weird thing.
Yeah, I know you would be, but I mean,
Why would this? Can we get rid of this dickhead?
Yeah.
no, you can't get rid of him. He's
Burn
part of
his
the band.
eyes out.
I'll hold it up. Give it here.
Not a medal.
Oh, Johnson. Right, yeah.
What are some venues that are good to play on or just to go and see a show at?
At the moment, with the Bell closing up, it's a little bit of a different community. At the moment, I think the Hampshire, either American or Polo,
All the bolos are good. Play the Hampshires.
Yeah, Marrickville Bolo's good.
Belmore, I think this
Oh.
start to put shows on again.
I actually, we've played here at this place. We've done some all ages
That's
shows.
good.
Yeah.
And the small, the upstairs room. Yeah, when it's
Right.
really when we've played here, it's like been real packed out. It creates a nice atmosphere, good atmosphere, and I've enjoyed the shows here. So this place is pretty
There's a
good.
few little joints around.
We haven't played out in the suburbs. We'd really like to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Hideaway's pretty good.
Hideaway's great. Yeah.
Mosh pit's still around.
Mosh
Playing
pit,
there
yeah.
next day.
I know the mosh pit kind of sucks because
We're
it
playing
has
there
such,
next weekend.
Are we? But we've got such a small.
I like playing there, but it's annoying to go there. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a really,
small.
really small. Like the stage area is so tiny that because there's 6 of us.
That makes it though.
When we played there last time, I had to stand in parallel with
Yeah.
the toilet door.
Yeah, I was in the toilet corridor
Yeah.
getting sewage with
See,
some-
this
Yeah,
is the
exactly.
shit we're gonna put up with.
Toilet
man.
play.
Well, we're playing, and every time someone would have to use the toilet, I'd get off to the bathroom, mate.
I want to play punk rock, but not near the
Not
toilet.
near the toilet.
I'm just having a whinge. You know?
That's GG punk.
Big two GGL.
Next question.
What are some bands that if people aren't listening to, they should be?
Oh,
Listen
that
to me,
you
they're
think
playing
I'm
behind us, I
listening
think.
Our band.
to? Yeah, Crossbone Kids.
Green soda.
Like we said, it's a
That band.
spectacle, not a music. Legal Aliens.
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's just name our bands. Legal Aliens, Numbskull, Black Rats,
Playground of Hate.
Playground of Hate, Farah.
Look, a lot of the bands that we play with, Loose Unit, Durry.
Yeah.
Like, they're
Yeah, all
great
those
bands.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
Bad
really
Scene.
good in general.
Bad Scene. I've played a couple of shows with them recently. They're cool. Ex-members of Hostiles and Ether Rag.
Yeah, Hostiles.
ACAB,
Slosh Kid.
ACAB, City Grind Band.
Impact Statement. Impact Statement. I
Another
really
one-
like their recorded stuff actually.
Another one of my dickhead bands.
Yeah.
So the
No, I kind of like. I've always liked Con's bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, Impact Statement probably being my favourite at the moment. Yeah, Ruckus, bingo.
Ruckus.
Yeah, right.
Ruckus from Wollongong. Yeah,
All about
another one of my
Ruckus.
favourite live bands at the moment. Those guys always put on a great show.
Yeah, I would say check out Rock.
Good blokes too. Fucking nice. Ruckus, yeah, our mates.
So, what do you hope to achieve with your musical endeavours these days?
Staying together until the end of the year.
If we could kind of get a recording, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
We've been talking
recording.
about a recording for a long time.
That's a decent one. Taking that shitty little CD demo.
Jazzo.
Decent.
Jazzo in a bleeding heart.
Yeah. We're not happy till he's dead. Hospitalised. Tired.
But we love Jazzo. Even though he's ginger.
He makes us. He makes the visuals.
It's not racist.
Oh yeah, I got a
Achievements. I don't know. With a band like ours, we don't really.
We're not worried
kinda-
about achievements. I don't
Yeah,
think.
we just want to play a lot of shows and have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Worried about being alive at the end of it.
We'd like to. I mean, if we could play a gig in Melbourne, that'd be great. Like,
Yeah, I reckon.
Recording
go down
would
to
be
Melbourne this
previous, I
week.
think.
playing some gigs in Melbourne.
Gotta
would be
record
great.
first.
Trying to organise us 6 cunts to get to Melbourne though. It's
Yeah,
nigh.
Nightmare.
that's actually a good
Absolute.
point.
We had my parents come to a show. I don't know.
Yeah.
Get my mum to turn up. For the show.
Second last question. You guys have been in the punk scene for long. How, in your opinion, has it changed? Do you reckon it's changed for the better or maybe for the worse?
We're all
Yeah.
jaded.
I reckon it goes in cycles.
Yeah, it goes
but,
in like waves and shit.
But there's a lot more division, I reckon, now. Whereas when I was younger, there heaps more mixed bills, which I think is good.
probably
I was
just
ranting
noticing
about it
that,
the other
though.
day. But I was ranting it the other day when it's how you find out about other bands, because you go to these mixed bills and you go, oh, that fucking band's heaps good. The same shitty bands are playing to the same shitty fucking
It is a bit of a
people.
friend's
How do you fucking discover anything else? You know, everyone's just playing to the same people with the same bands. I need to mix it up. I reckon.
True. One of the
Scar's
things.
dead.
Yeah.
No scar.
A lot of the venues
Love
don't.
operation.
He's gonna defend. He's
A lot
gonna
of the
defend
venues
Scar.
don't really kind of hang around for very long, and like the Valve was a great venue, had a reputation, and developed like a crowd there. But I mean, when those
Have you seen
venues
the
kind of
Pro
like
Boskers
die, when
making
they're
all
changing
that
every
fun?
6 months, it's very hard for the punters to know.
Yeah.
You know, where
Has to be a word of mouth.
yeah, it's very much a
When
word
I
of
was
mouth.
at
I've
fucking
seen. And I mean, unless we can get consistent venues, that's probably our biggest challenge at the moment. Like every 6 months there's different venues, and like, you know, the punters
Maybe
don't
it's
know.
just said to last week. Maybe things like this aren't supposed to be in the same place.
True, but that's true, but it's just like we got to keep starting again every time.
I
So.
know. Still do.
And last question, plug yourself, plug your band, all that jazz.
Alright.
Last time I plugged myself, I ended up in jail. Not again.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll get better. We haven't played in ages, so we're just getting together again, I
I
guess.
think we just
Darren's rejoined the band. We sound mad with Darren. So we'll get our shit together. We might sound good. Who knows?
Might.
Come and watch it if you see it.
we're more just six mates getting together. Like that's how we very much see it. We just get together, make a wall of noise, and enjoy just putting on a show and having a
Dream
laugh.
to this.
So that's. Oh man,
you have resentment.
you just
I'm about to shit myself.
Someone has
with
a
that
resentment
fucking
issue.
killed our lead
brown
singer.
note.
One of our lead singers.
Yeah, that's
We've still got another one.
We're gonna have to do it again because that fucking brown note's gonna be for
brown.
the whole fucking
Yeah.
No, but that's punk. You know, we get
Excuse
interviewed
me,
and there's another
guys,
band.
Well, a
Soundtrack.
couple of planes,
Yeah, a couple of planes. Yeah.
That's
Very
Marrickville.
industrial.
Worst case scenario, I can put subtitles
Just
up.
overdub it.
Yes.
Sitting here.
As long as we can have that bouncing ball that goes over.
Like the prime
Just-
Oh, like it's
Super
we're having
composer.
karaoke.
Don't litter.
All right, cool. First question: what's your name, the band or bands you've been in, and how long have you been part of the scene for?
Alright, I'm Scott, Naji, Moontan, I'm Gnarly, and I joined, I joined the band Thought Crime in 2001, playing the drums there and met everyone who's still in the scene now, like Ruckus, Baby Machine, all the crew. bit of a hiatus and joined Rudvalis playing guitar, Slosh bit, drums, culture bass. I'll probably start another one next week. Craig.
Yeah, well, this is culture industry. Been running this for about 5 years now, since 2014. Yeah, I've had a few lineup changes. Lemos joined about 2 years ago with another guy, Scotty Law, and that ran for 2 years. Got to play with Friends of Rhyme and stuff and whatever. And then Najee joined about when did you join?
Maybe
about a year ago now.
Nice.
So this has been a lineup for a solid year.
Went to Indo at the start of the year,
Yeah.
3-week tour, first time left the country.
Yeah.
In your opinion, why should people go to shows?
You got to support your local scene. You got to support bands, man. I mean, we're all trying to get out there and make music. And if you lose the culture of live music, you lose the culture of society.
Pokey's taken over, man. It's no lie. It's fucked.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's like all these people idolize these bands that are just massive, but no one wants to go to a local show. Like all of those massive bands started off as little local artists.
Yeah.
But come along, it's fun. We have a good time. It's fun.
It's always fun. Yeah, see, that's why you should go out. And it's great for the young kids too, you know. We should have more
Play in a band or go and watch a band, film a band, just watch them.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So what are some of the good things about the music scene right now?
It's kicking.
It's frothing.
It's frothing. It's really banging. I mean, we've been all in the scene for 15 years, all of us, in different bands, and we've seen the scene go from this to then drop, and now it is just kicking since 2013, 2014. Yours and ours and everything. And
saying the other day that
crazy.
every band that's around, not everyone's doing exactly the same thing. Like everyone's really doing their own thing.
Yeah, it's
a
really
lot
cool.
of bands. Like we're not all just doing punk, fast punk, or
And even all the punk
fucking
bands are all doing
keyboards.
different styles of punk too. So it's awesome.
So it's a good scene here, man. There always has been.
It's really
but
diverse.
It's pumping.
It's good to see all the young guys, because for a long traveled line there was
Saw the whole
just everyone listening to dance music or whatever, which is cool, whatever, each their own. But
club scene
there's
was
so many young kids these days, 18, 19, making real music with drums and guitar and bass. It's fucking amazing.
And there's
we need more of that.
each weekend that you have to choose now where you want to go. There's three gigs going on the same night. And you're like, I got Port, I got here, I got there. So it's pumping, man.
Yeah.
At least in Wollongong.
At least in Wollongong.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Canberra.
Sydney's picked up a lot too.
Sydney.
Melbourne's obviously pumping. Yeah, no, it's good.
On the same note, how do you think it could be improved?
People going to shows and having fun.
I think
Give bands a
I
rider.
think the government needs to put more money into it.
Give
I don't
bands
know.
a free rider. Like,
More
yeah,
money,
one beer.
more money into the venues, so they can then pay bands appropriately, which would then get more bands involved,
But
which would
they
get
know
more
that-
people involved. I'm just thinking, we need
pretty
some
shit
sort of
right now,
incentive, because we play a lot of gigs and we're not getting paid much, you know.
It's not about money. And
Not about
everything,
money,
but you travel to a gig and you end up paying to do it. It costs money to play now, man. Do you want to be in it?
Come on, boys, what do you play? What do you say?
You're in the
Nah,
band.
these days you gotta pay. You gotta pay yourself to play, man. Like you gotta catch, or you gotta get there. You honestly get one beer at some places if you're lucky, and it's catch later. We can get another band if you don't want to do it.
Yeah,
So
all we
something's
really
gotta-
ask for is petrol money. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Just something, man. T-shirt from your pub. Something.
So how is the Gong compared to other places in Australia like Sydney or Melbourne or Newcastle or even the world? Because I know you guys went overseas at the start of this year with Sloshbit.
Yeah, Indonesia's pumping. Like in terms of the punk scene over there, the intensity and the amount of people that are actually going to shows is actually a lot more than what's going on here. But in saying that, for the amount of people that we've actually got here, it's not as much as there. We've actually got a fair few people in bands playing in Wollongong. Like it's crazy. I mean, you got more people in Sydney than you do here, and there's probably more bands coming out of Wollongong than there are in Sydney.
Nah,
so,
but Indo, Wollongong is underground.
yeah,
It's punk, it's dirty, and it's been like that forever. But Indo is like it's 1994.
Yeah.
The dancing like we
Yeah.
did in '94, and smoking is cool. And
Yeah.
So it's underground and dirty, and it will never die.
Yeah, I think the main difference between Indonesia and Australia in general that I found was we have a drinking culture with a little bit of music here. It's a music culture with a little bit of drinking there, which is amazing.
But they drink 88% alcohol.
Yeah,
petrol.
It's a
Petrol.
and they just tip it down your throat.
Yeah, like we could use that alcohol to get home.
Petrol.
Prius.
So what are your thoughts on the community aspect and how everyone kind of knows each other?
Oh, it's fucking brilliant around Wollongong. Like it's
You know
it's
each
awesome.
other anyway.
It's awesome. Everyone knows everyone. I mean, we just were talking to Mal then from fucking Legal Aliens.
There's a gig on today with 15 bands playing covers of other bands.
Basically, all our mates are in all these bands too. So it's I don't know. It's just a big. Is this getting live streamed? You get down to the survey now. There's 15 bands playing soon. Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Pit.
It's awesome to see.
Nah, it's pretty cool, man. And you go and support everyone, even if you don't like it.
Even at Newcastle the other night, Hamilton Station, like the scene there was just awesome. We knew all the boys. Everyone was just
Yeah, with the grounds.
Yeah.
Half of our friends don't even like our music, but they
Canberra's
come and watch
another
us.
good place too. Well, we played the basement down there. Great scene down there too. Pumps, like similar to Wollongong. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, with Chard and Cock Belch.
Just saying.
That was our first fight.
Are you guys okay after that fight?
He's down in the middle.
So
We'll have to
any
give him. Sorry, mate. We'll have to give him 5 minutes to. No, Tiff.
What's the question? Shut up, Lemos. He's standing up. We're back.
so any crazy stories that have happened whilst playing at a gig or just going to a show?
Craziest story at a gig.
Pick one each.
I would fall asleep before most gigs.
Always falls asleep before most gigs.
In the middle of Bali, just fell asleep.
The craziest night in Bali was pretty nuts. Me and Lemos got woken up by Naji in the morning, screaming at us, going, "What the fuck are you guys doing? It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I've been partying all night." And we looked at him and I'm like, "What have you been doing?" He swam out to a boat, slept with some prostitutes, got some weed, fucking, went a bit nuts.
Alright, cut that. Start that again.
Oh yeah, we saw a fight. What else?
Well, that's what
Someone got
happened.
glass. Fucking heaps of shit.
And he was wearing a fluoro suit.
Keep it in if you want.
Yeah, he full
I
rocked-
did it.
Full rocked in like this fluoro raincoat, and he's like, "What have you done with your life lately?" I've swam out to a boat and then realised I couldn't get there and swam back and
Do you want me to bring up shit? Is it done?
Great. Yes.
That's alright.
That was the crazy shit that's happened on tour. I don't know, it was nuts.
I got batoned by a security guard. Alright, we finished the gig in Bali. The last gig, twice. Yeah. No. Give me shelter. We all smashed our snare drum. Took a bloody long time to kick a snare drum in. Last show, fell asleep in the van, got out Hungry Jack's. I tried to order a burger, couldn't get it. And then I got batoned by a security guard at Hungry Jack's. So
Batons.
It's baton. They hurt.
Big lump.
So there you go.
They got a
Huge
new motto
lump.
from that though, didn't they?
Hey,
They got a new motto from that, didn't
What
they?
was it?
the batons are better at Hungry Jack's. Other than that, shit happens.
Yeah, fair enough. So do you guys think the underground should stay underground?
Yes and no.
Nah, because we're trying to.
Yes and no.
It always
the
will
underground
be.
always will be underground, but I think some of these bands from the underground need to get
To the
out to the mainstream, so some
So
of the
other
mainstream
people go
can
underground.
notice this underground, what's actually going on.
The underground needs to go up ground.
I don't know,
to
I don't know.
Spread the underground.
Is that a trick question?
Is this a riddle? Is this a riddle? Nah, I
But it's
think
not really underground.
it will
anymore.
never die,
It's
man.
all the
There will always be an
I
underground.
know, it's an interesting thing. It's
But we can't say we're full froth because we're on Triple J Unearthed trying to get out there. But we only just want to get out there and shake it up.
I don't know, you want as many people listening
want-
to your music as
yeah.
possible, don't you?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's the idea. I don't really care who's fucking
Get it
listening
right
to
out
our
there.
music.
Even if you can't, try and get out there.
I don't really give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
listening. As long as, the more people, the merrier.
It's more
but at the same
fun
time,
to go mainstream.
at the same time, though, I don't want the music to be
Compromise.
compromised,
Yeah.
and then okay, now it's all over the radio, and now we've got people that don't really understand the
It's a
message in the
cycle,
first
man.
place coming
It's coming
to the
back.
shows. So
It's coming back.
that's
Yeah,
all.
Distortion's coming back.
And we don't want any like label controlling us either. We want to do it ourselves.
I love it the way that it is right now, in the fact that it is, like, the internet has obviously opened a gateway for every band. Anyone's got a network now where you can just go straight to your fan base.
At least everyone can
There's
hear
no
it.
label, there's no middleman, you don't need it.
Yeah.
So it's all in your own hard work, really, to get you
Without
out
the
there.
internet, 12 people would know about us.
Yeah.
But with the internet, 13 people.
Yeah, like 15 at least. I was going to say 15.
So what are your thoughts on bands that started out on an underground local level and have just shot up due to like them getting played on Triple J or just a shitload of people finding out about them?
Half of them don't even know, didn't expect it's going to happen, man. Who cares? That's why you.
Look,
Good luck.
Good on 'em.
good luck to them.
If you can live off this shit.
If you can make a
like we
living
said,
off doing this,
we pay to
awesome.
play.
But some of those bands that have ended up on Triple J have compromised their sound. Like, I mean, it is pretty poppy and it is radio friendly.
have to go
That's
to the
why
song.
you've ended up on Triple J in the first place. What I want to see is a dirty fucking band that's playing dirty tunes actually make it on the radio. And then you go, well, then you've surpassed this, this poppy rubbish that's...
Yeah, they generally have to stick with the song that got them there. Like,
That's all I'm saying. So some of these bands have compromised their sound to fit in with the mainstream, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say, it would be great if an actual dirty punk band could go, boom.
Yeah.
We're not really a punk band.
So really, it's not the band's
Oh, no.
fault, and good on them for like chasing their dream or whatever. But I think really it's the gatekeepers like radio stations that are really fucking them up.
Yeah, and Triple J really owns this thing as well, and it's not all about Triple J what they think.
Yeah. Stereotypical Triple J bands.
Yeah, Triple J is not that.
It's not like the be all and end all. That's all we want to say. Just because Triple J don't like you
Fuck
doesn't
Triple
mean
J,
that,
actually.
Fuck
Not
it
good anymore.
Yeah.
Used to be cool. You used to be cool, man.
What happened?
We used to.
But just because, like No Effects have said, like, they just kept playing and playing. They never got a radio hit ever. You just keep doing what you're doing, man. And
Cunts like it, they'll
the
like
cunts
it.
like it, they'll come around.
But we love doing it, man. I'll do this for the rest of my life, and I'm never really
think
going
all of us
to
are
make
like
a
that.
living out of it, but I'm still going to do it forever.
Yeah.
So
Straight up.
put that in your bid, because I meant that.
So what are some good venues to go and see a show at or to play on?
Dicey Riley's is a great venue.
Where we are
They're
now.
cool. They're a cool venue,
At
man.
home.
They pay you on the night. They fucking get a good crowd. They support the scene.
Rad Bar obviously
It
was
used to be
awesome.
Oxford Tavern. This is the new Oxford. Oxford is what this town is built on.
I'm sure that new venue, La La La's, is going to be kicking too.
La La La's.
when that
check
comes
when
to
it comes.
fruition.
Rad Bar was a cool place.
So that's a new Rad Bar, I
3D
guess.
Studios as well.
3D
Globe
Studios.
Lane,
Yeah.
This is all just here, but
or news.
Servo, obviously, they've got some great shows happening, obviously, this afternoon. Sydney, oh man, the
a couple of places went down.
Hideaway.
Valve was good.
Yeah, the Valve was good.
You didn't even get a free beer at the Valve, but I'm sorry, Greg, but you could have paid us one fucking beer to get there, mate.
The basement down in Canberra is a fucking awesome venue. I love
Sorry,
playing
Greg,
there.
I love you, but you always gave me a crash cymbal, so that's all right.
Yeah, the Baso in
And it's
Canberra.
tougher than me, don't hit me, Greg.
The Hamilton Station Hotel in Newcastle.
Yeah,
is
that's a great venue.
They look after
Canberra
people
looks
there.
after you.
Yeah.
Everyone tries, man. Everyone wants to look. There's just no money in this game.
I like the Reverence down in Melbourne too.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Cool venue.
Yeah. It's just a good community that we've got going. I think it's more the community of bands that make the venue itself.
Yeah, because
And there's obviously
all
been
the bands are going to the gigs.
But there's
so-
been a divide in this scene as well. Like, obviously we're talking about the punk scene here as well, but there's obviously, the surf rock
Different
scene and
factions and
different
stuff.
fashions and trends that are
going
going on in the
surf rock
scenes
now.
too. But what we're seeing in the punk thing is definitely growing.
Heaps
But-
of young kids.
Yeah, heaps of
rocking
young
out.
kids getting into it.
Yeah, it's good.
But yeah. It's definitely not as
It's
growing
going
as big
in-
as the surf rock thing and
It's
all the
going
trendy
a
thing.
bit less punk.
But it's good to see bands like Coffin as well, like,
Yeah.
leading the charge and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, with the heavier side of things.
Yeah, with the heavy
In
stuff.
all, the scene is pumping, man.
It
Yeah.
really is. Yeah.
More than kind of ever has been, to be
Yeah.
honest.
So what are some bands that people should be listening to if they're not
well,
already?
Coffin. Definitely Coffin.
Alright. Alphabetical order.
Oh, fuck. Well, you got to start with... Well, I don't know, man. I'm just going off from the top of the head. Coffin.
Flanger pennies.
Flanger panties.
Coffin, sloshy.
Slosh
Under
bit.
the influence, check them
Under
out.
the influence.
Maggot.
Maggot.
Ruckus.
Ruckus.
All the old school bands are still going, man. They're fucking
The new one's coming out, Space Boys. They're fucking cool.
Hoon are killing it.
Oh man, Scab Baby, we're doing some cool shit.
Legal Aliens.
Legal Aliens.
Don't hate us if we forget your name right now.
Yeah, no, seriously, there's some
El
awesome.
Bastardo.
The grounds we played with up in Newcastle,
good
they're
dudes.
fucking cool.
So many. Like,
Man.
where do you even start?
Oh Jesus. So
How
many
to fight
awesome
with
bands.
Blind Man
The hardest-
Just Stare. They're
Like
cool.
obviously
Blind
there's
Man Death Stare.
obviously there's the big bands that are already getting out there like Animal Sniffers and the Chaps and all that
Sorry
Aussie
about that,
bogan
guys.
scene, but I'm trying to
Oh, fucking Cockbelch.
Cocktail from Canberra. Yeah, Chud.
Canberra's got a real good scene. Canberra's like Wollongong, but a bit more metal. But
And you can smoke
they
bongs on
embrace-
stage.
They embrace music so hard.
Wolfpack down in Melbourne, they're awesome.
I Am Duckeye.
Yeah.
Melbourne as well.
Yeah,
It's so
Nerdlinger and
it's
Hack the
great.
Mainframe and all those sort of bands too, doing the pop punk thing. They're
So
awesome
Slush
too.
Pit,
But yeah,
Thought
check out,
Crime,
check out some Baby Machine, fucking
Bruce,
Yeah,
High
Bruce,
Taste,
High
Rocksteady
Taste,
Double
yeah.
Isha.
Rocksteady Dub.
Heaps.
Yeah.
yeah, all those bands. All those bands. There's so many guys. They're all
So
awesome
many.
too. But yeah, we really like obviously the dirty shit. So that's,
Even bands like Love Bars and that, they kind of got the grunge.
well, they're now Super
Bringing
Eater.
the grunge.
They're
Yeah,
Super
Super
Eater.
Eater.
They're Super Eater. But they're the young guys coming through, doing some cool shit.
will
There's some
never
young,
die.
there's some young bands doing some awesome shit too, man. Like, yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see.
So what are you guys hoping to achieve with your musical endeavours? What are you hoping to achieve, basically?
Well, I want to obviously push it as much as I can.
Dude's so keen.
I'm always keen. I want to push it as far as I
pushing
can.
40.
But I just want to like play as much as we can around the world. I want to tour. I want to, you know,
We can
next
just keep
our
going
goal
to
is
other
Germany.
countries.
Goal is Germany next 2 years. We really want to head over there.
If we can go to other countries and not just go as tourists and play a gig,
Play gigs
That'd be
overseas.
amazing.
that would be the
That's
dream.
pretty much what we're doing.
If we sold a shirt there, that would be cool.
And
If
also
we
we
could
just
travel the world and play.
That's
That's
all.
pretty
we
sweet.
just released an album that we're really proud of. So
Yeah.
it's called Who Are We All? And
We're trying to
I
do-
just want to keep making really cool music that we want to listen to as well. You know, man.
If we just I'll keep doing it till my body stops, man.
Yeah, that's it. Till we die on stage.
Yeah, we're not stopping.
If we were going to achieve something, we already would have.
Straight up.
I don't think we've
That's
done
so
it.
true.
We've achieved it if we have.
Yeah, yeah. But I feel like I'm always improving as a musician as well, like
Yeah.
growing with
Yeah,
this band as
exactly.
well. So, you know, as long as I keep improving as a musician, I'm keeping, you know, I don't know, this thing rolling. Fuck, I'm happy, man.
I'm in 3 bands now. I love
I'm happy.
So second last question. You guys have been in the music scene for a while now. How has it changed, and has it changed for the better or for the worse?
Definitely changed for the better, right, for now. Recently?
There's more bands, more venues.
When the Oxford died, it fucking died. Like, music was dead for like 2-3 years. Like,
So
I mean,
it's the only
4
place.
years. It was shit. We had the Patch, I think, one venue to play in Wollongong.
Damn, what's his name?
I mean, Fu Manchu played there with no one watching.
Fucking oath.
Yeah, like crazy. Like the scene was dead. This is what we're trying to say. Like no one knew what was happening. People
All the
didn't know
Radbar crew
what was going
brought
on.
it back, man.
And then once Radbar started,
Dan Radburn,
yours and ours,
Tillman.
once that started, that's what got people kicking again. And I
But
started
the
seeing
bands
it.
never stopped. The bands never stopped joining or playing. There was just nowhere to fucking play, man.
Exactly.
Warehouses.
Yeah, like I owned a warehouse for a whole year, and I was having bands just playing that
was cool
warehouse
back
for
in
a
the
whole
day.
year, man.
Warehouses.
So what happened was the scene went really underground, so parties and shit, and venues weren't doing anything. But what was happening was bands were still playing, musicians were still doing it, you know. So, and then that's now come to fruition. Venues have taken it on, and again, seen that live music is now can make some money. People are into it. So
People drink in this town as well. Like,
yeah,
Like
drinks the people, man. Like,
Yeah.
venues like us.
yeah, yeah,
Punks drink.
Yep.
yeah.
They just fuck shit up.
But yeah, it's definitely gotten better. Like it was interesting to see the surf rock thing go because I was like, oh man, that's getting huge. not really the type of music I'm into, but it was awesome to see all these kids into live music. So even though the style wasn't matching to what I was into, it was still awesome to see, kids jumping around to music and not going to fucking nightclubs.
And even then, you still like see some type of surf rock band. You're just like, whoa, these guys are sick.
Yeah.
We've got to start playing youth centres again, mate. That's the first time I ever
Yeah,
saw
more
it.
all ages shows, I think, as well for the young kids, so they can start getting inspired to fucking start their own bands.
That's
Keep your
the
ball
first
rolling,
place.
keep more people into it.
Youth centre used to have international
And then we
acts
keep the scene
every
growing.
week, and it's just not there. I think the young kids need to go somewhere.
Yeah, and I think we've got a
Do you just want to
responsibility.
meet it?
as well.
There's a chick from another band. So I didn't say chick, I meant a girl.
Legal
She's
aliens
slapping
right
us.
there.
Taking a round here to be chick. I'm a girl.
Last question. Plug yourself. Plug your band, your social medias, and all that.
We'll go check out YouTube because we've got a Dying in the Streets up there right now. It's our last one. We've got Snitch, also, and a host of other fucking music videos.
If I get a
Our
laptop soon, I'll
Bandcamp,
make some videos.
Bandcamp is up there too, so check out the album up there.
The culture industry, who are we all?
Yeah.
The best
Every
shit's
digital
yet to
platform.
come.
Every digital platform we've got music up.
More videos to come.
We've got even a few physical copies of CDs at the moment, so please
Short
come to a
Fuse.
show, Short Fuse
Short
next
Fuse,
week.
Ronnie from Reckless.
9th of November.
Yep.
Ronnie from Reckless. is really
Yep,
having a crack.
we just
Yeah,
done
yeah.
a song for a compilation for Reckless Enterprises with Ronnie.
to
Ronnie's
play
been a
the
fucking
funk.
legend.
He's
He's
having a
actually
crack.
really lifting everyone up. It's
Yeah,
really-
he's been doing a big
couple
thing.
of records coming out with.
So that's
every
coming
band
out
in
next
Wollongong.
week, Saturday the 9th of November. Then we've got a gig up in Sydney, Hideaway Bar with Green Amphibian, and that's 16th of November. And then we've got another one back here at Dicey Riley's on the 30th of November too.
Yeah, and
so
we've
Is this
also
coming out before this weekend?
probably not.
Probably not, but you know,
but we're playing. we're playing.
fucking
you could have been
Come
there.
next year anyway.
Out, we're playing.
2020, those same
get in the
dates.
Nah, yeah, we're nearly, I think
Alright.
that's it.
Yeah.
No, we're culture
yeah.
industry, we're going to keep it
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
Best is yet to come, we're just going to keep making more shit.
Keep
more
listening to
videos.
Grunt Punch.
Go to anyone's show, try and get them to put you on the door.
It's easy to show.
Thanks for doing this interview too, man.
Hello.
Hey man, how's it going?
Good shake. How are you, mate?
I'm doing all right. Just setting up my camera. Just give me a sec. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's a little bit dark in here. Sorry.
No, it looks fine. Nah, trust me, it looks fine. Thanks again for wanting to do this for me. I really appreciate it.
No worries. All good.
All right. First question. What's your name, the band or bands you're in? How long have you been playing for? And where's the scene you're playing in right now?
Interesting question. Okay, so I probably come from a little bit of a different background than maybe some of the people you interview because I'm not in a band.
Oh,
I'm actually, up until about a year ago, was a concert promoter.
oh, okay.
I started out in bands, but we were all really terrible. I'm from Sydney originally, but the place I kind of made my mark, I guess, was in Cairns. I put on a lot of concerts in Cairns up until probably about a year ago. And I guess that just came from discovering the scene there, becoming friends with everyone, and then kind of going, how can I help these people out, because I can't play any music.
Yeah. Sorry for that mistake there.
Right.
So, in your opinion, why should people go to shows?
Well, I guess for me, from I can only speak for myself, but we've got all this kind of stuff now, and it's great that we can talk online like this. But there's nothing like that social interaction, and humans we are social creatures, and some people like to exercise and go to the park, and that's where they get their. Some people like to go to the pub. Some people like to do all sorts of different things, but I guess for anyone where music kind of hits you and that's your thing, then I guess that's why you should be going to shows, because you're going to meet like-minded people, and it's good for you. Yeah.
What are some of the good things about the music scene right now?
I think, especially in the last few years, the things becoming a lot more inclusive. I think is something that people should be really proud of. And it wasn't always like that for some people, and I think it's probably not there for everybody yet. But I think we're on the right track with a lot of that kind of stuff, and I think everyone should be proud of themselves. But in saying that, it's all well and good to be proud of making that kind of progress, but you can't rest on your laurels and think, oh, well, we've done a great job and everything's hunky-dory and whatever, and we can just go back to the old ways. It has to keep moving forward.
So, on the same note, what things could be improved?
I guess, like obviously in the last few years, I guess women have been pushed to the forefront, which is great, which is fantastic. I think, I think personally that there's still a way to go regarding inclusivity of, say, people of different sexual orientations. I think maybe in the bigger cities that's getting there, but in places like where I am in regional centres, it's probably, we're still a little bit behind, I think.
So how is the Cairns scene compared to other places in Australia like Sydney or Melbourne or even the world?
It's small, it's very small, but I guess in some ways that makes things a little bit easier. There isn't 100 bands out there that are all vying for spots on shows. There isn't 100 shows out there. There aren't many shows. The shows that are put on are fairly well attended compared to smaller shows I've been to in other cities. Also, because there isn't as many bands and there isn't as many shows, I feel like the bands that Cairns and the Far North do have, maybe get to play like a little bit more together. When they finally do get opportunities, to open for bigger bands, I think sometimes people are surprised, but it's because they get to play a lot because there isn't many bands, to go around. So they're all the bands from Cairns. They've got great chops, and what other things are hard? I guess attitudes here. It's not like in say in Sydney or Melbourne where it's it's a pretty normal thing now. Every second bloke you meet's in a band or has a mate that's in a band. It's still a fairly kind of niche thing to be into and to be doing. So I mean, attitudes with the older generations can be hard. Booking venues can be hard because if a band comes in and it doesn't matter how many people they bring in for their show to a pub, if the publican thinks they're too loud, they're rude or something, or they swore or something like that, or generally they just don't like that kind of music. We've had situations where we've had pubs putting on shows, and then it's because the publican was there one night, didn't like a particular band, it stopped it straight, just bang.
Wow, really?
So yeah, those kind of things can be hard. It's getting easier, like I said. We are a little bit behind with some of those kind of things and attitudes towards live music. But it definitely has gotten a lot better in the last 10 to 15 years since I've been here anyway. Yeah. What else is hard? I don't know. I'm trying to think. They're the things that come to mind though. They're mainly attitude kind of things. Yeah, really. Yeah.
So
obviously the distance Kansas is like a long way away from everywhere. So, when I was booking shows in Cairns and stuff like that, to get bands to come to Cairns, because there was a while there where, that was one of the main reasons I booked shows, because there wasn't the kind of bands that I wanted to see, or B, the people that I knew wanted to play with. And so those kind of bands weren't coming here because it was, it wasn't a place that people came to. And so when I started putting on shows, we had to go down the route of, I had to use my own money and pay bands to fly up and pay them and pay their accommodation and stuff and make sure they had a really good time and pay for drinks and everything like that. Just so they would come. And then by the end of when I stopped, it became, people just started coming here because they wanted to come here. So the distance, obviously, that's probably one of the main things, the hardest things.
So what was your process for? Sorry, I'm hearing an echo. What was your process for creating shows? Were the bands you chose to play more based on what you wanted to hear, or just what you think would draw a crowd?
Well, I guess at first, when we first started, the shows that I ran were at a pub called the Grand Hotel. So we were called Garage Land at the Grand. That was our brand. At first, I had the vision of it being mixed bills, so 4 or 5 different bands, because we couldn't put on just a punk show or just a metal show. There wasn't enough bands to do that. So we started out kind of doing mixed bills. We had everything you could think of, really, and any kind of genre you could think of. We started. That's how we started. And then I guess when we started kind of getting bands up that I liked, which were mainly punk bands, it kind of went more in that direction when a few more bands came on board, and we realised that was drawing crowds and making everyone play and stuff. I wish we kind of had stayed doing some of those mixed bills, because it was really great to see just the different networks form and stuff like that, and there was people that ended up in bands that weren't in those bands before, and all that kind of nice stuff that which is great. At the end of the day, I guess punk, that's what my background is, and so it was always kind of moved in that direction, I guess. I'd grown up going to shows in Sydney. I'm from Penrith originally, so pretty close to you, I think.
I live in Penrith.
So I grew up going to the PCYC, those shows, and Channel Cafe and stuff like that. And on the shows, and so that's where it started for me. And I guess I went through a period in my life where I kind of, when I was going through all that in Penrith and stuff, I was in a band in Campbelltown. Who we were not good. We never played. We played parties and that kind of thing, but we never played a gig. And then I moved to Cairns when I was 18 or maybe 20, and I kind of gave up on music. I thought, I'm not going to I'll never have any kind of connection with music again. I mean, I still loved music. I still followed music and that kind of thing, but it wasn't until kind of I found. The thing within Cairns too is that a lot of the music scene is intertwined with the art scene here. So a lot of people in the bands are artists. One of the bands, actually this band that I'm wearing a shirt now, Swan Donkey, a great Cairns punk band. Justin from them, he runs a gallery, and stuff like that. A lot of them are all artists and stuff. And so when I first got to Cairns, I thought, I was going out, hanging out in pubs, just watching cover bands and stuff, and was bored. And I knew there was something else there, but I couldn't find it. And then one day someone come into the shop I was working in, and I was listening to, I think I might have been listening to Dead Kennedys or the Saints or something. And he said, hey, you should come to this thing tonight. And he told me where it was, and it was like a t-shirt shop where they did screen printing and that kind of thing. And out the back, where they did all the screen printing, was a little room. And about monthly, they were putting on punk shows and all different types of stuff, hip hop.
Wow.
And then, I just exploded from there for me, just because I had such a great time there, and these people that put so much effort and work and put their business on the line to do these shows. When that finally closed down, there was a bit of a gap in Cairns for shows, and that's kind of when I went, occasion where they going to do something.
So, what are your thoughts on the community aspect and how a lot of people know each other?
It's great. I think a lot of people are good at different things. Like I'm not a great musician, but I can be organised when I want to be. Not everyone has their different strengths and weaknesses. So, Pitch. There's a guy, Ryan Pitch Whittington, who's in the band from Cairns called Me Bikini. He was my, we were partners in Garageland together. He kind of, I guess, was he was the technology guy. He was the guy that that set up everything, the backline and all that kind of thing. Because I'm not good with any of that kind of stuff. And I guess at first I said to Pitch, like when we finished up, when we first met, he probably wouldn't have been someone that I would want to hang out with. To be honest, like we were very, very different people. And then, just through working together and stuff like that, he ended up becoming the best man at my wedding. Like,
Wow.
it's crazy. Like, but yeah, I think the community thing's great because, like I said, everyone's got their different strengths and weaknesses, and I think the more people can get together and help each other out, there's nothing better than that. And there's no better feeling either than kind of all pitching in with your own kind of effort, and then standing around looking at what you create. Magic.
Do you think the underground should stay underground?
Yeah. Now, this is a tough one for me because, I do agree that it should. In saying that, I think the underground breeds incredible talent, and it always will. And a lot of that talent isn't always going to be able to be contained by the underground. That some of that talent is going to have to mean more to more people than just, your local scene and that kind of thing. And they deserve to. If they put in that kind of effort and they have that kind of talent, and they have something to say, why not say it to thousands of people instead of 50 people? Why wouldn't anybody want to do that? At the same time, underground spaces and venues and bands are incredibly important. Incredibly important. I mean, my life wouldn't be half as decent as it has been without it. I don't think, I can't even imagine what I'd be doing if it wasn't for all the stuff I've done. But, and it hurts, the reason why we stopped doing shows is because a company bought the pub that we were working out of.
Right.
They decided to, we put our case and said this is what we've been doing and that kind of thing. And they decided to rip our stage out and fill the place with pokies, which I'm sure you're quite accustomed to. Things like that are going to happen. You can't dwell on that. You just got to find a new space and you've got to keep going. I'm not in Cairns at the moment, actually, but I'm in a place called Ingham, which is kind of between Cairns and Townsville. We're a small sugarcane town. There's literally no music here to speak of. It's quite a weird kind of place for me to be, but my wife's pregnant at the moment, so we're here to just be close to her family and stuff. And,
Fair enough.
But it's been nice to kind of step away a little bit, and Cairns is still doing well. They've got some good shows coming up, and there's still shows happening in Cairns. Just different venues now, and one of the main venues now in Cairns is at the German Club, which might sound a bit strange to some people, but it's a small cultural club that I'm sure a lot of them kind of across Australia these days tend to struggle a little bit. And they made the choice a few years ago to start working with some people I know, and now their club is going great. Nice. That's another thing with the community question. Things like that can happen as well, where things like that amaze me, where it's like we want to put on a show at this place, and you might not think that it's going to
work out, but it ends up working out.
Working out both of them, and you might not have expected, you know, you probably weren't even thinking about, oh, you know, I hope the German club goes really great, kind of thing after the show or whatever. But yeah, they've got this working relationship that's been going on for years now, and oh, it's crazy. It's a crazy little place. It's quite strange to go to because it's one of the coolest places I've been to for a show because it just does not look like a place that you'd see a punk show.
So what are some bands from, well, in general, that if people aren't listening to right now, they should be?
I'll always fly to North Queensland flag proudly, even though I'm a New South Welshman. So I think if anyone down south hasn't heard Meat Bikini, they're kind of the stalwarts of the North Queensland punk scene. They've been around for about 25 years in different kind of iterations. Kane Raybold, who's their frontman, he's basically the godfather of the Cairns music scene. He's done everything. You know, they're an amazing band. But those guys definitely. There's a bloke called, he's about to move down to Melbourne from Cairns. His name is Crimes. If you see him on anything, go and have a look at that because he was probably one of the best finds we kind of found when we were doing shows. This is an amazing show. It's probably not what you're going to expect. It's probably not what other people might call punk. Basically one bloke with his little noisemaker box and a microphone and he plays bass. Yeah, really, really cool band. Of course, we've got Swan Donkey, obviously, from Cairns, another fantastic band. They've been down to Brisbane this year, so they're doing really well, and they've had some play on 4ZZZ up there. And probably the last one I'd pick out would be Barefoot Bells. They're a band from Cooktown. They bill themselves as the most northern punk band in Australia. And they've been playing in Brisbane over the last kind of year or so. They got down there, but I think when we first started putting them on, they hadn't really made it out of Cooktown yet. They came and played supports when we had the Hard-Ons up, and a few other shows, and they've gone from strength to strength. They just supported CJ Ramone the other day.
Wow.
Yeah, so just go and see them if you get the chance to. Really, really dig them. Yeah.
All right, so last question. Any crazy stories that have happened with your experience with the music scene up there?
Oh, geez, I wouldn't know where to start. I think, I'm trying to think of one. There's all sorts of, I'm trying to think, hang on. Give us a second. This is it's kind of short but sweet, but when the first kind of really huge band we ever put on in Cairns was Clowns. Like, to us they were huge, and then when we started talking to them, we got talking to Drunk Promoter and he kind of put us on to Chris Bosmer and stuff, and we ended up being able to book this mystery band to this pub, which is, geez, you probably shouldn't have more than 300 people in it. And it was probably the craziest experience of my life because we sold the 300 tickets. The owner of the pub said, just keep selling them. I don't think you can do that. Like, surely you have max capacity, that kind of thing. What about, should we get the fire department down here and make sure it's all right? That kind of thing. Nah, keep selling. So the attitude, this is a few years back. It's changed a little bit, but back then it was still a bit Wild West. And so we kept selling tickets. I lost track. I can't remember how many we ended up selling. But, everyone did really well. It was probably one of the first shows we put on where we actually made money. And we had a little bit of extra money left over in the budget. And we didn't know what to do with it. And it wasn't enough to go like, hey, there's this extra money, what should we do with it? At the same time, we wanted to do something with it. So we decided, because they sold out the pub, that we'd buy them like a plaque, you know. The Smith Street Band sold out their Grand Hotel, you know, something like that. And so we went to this place in Cairns to go and get it made, and it's kind of like next to, I think there's like a mechanic, and then in the front, like there was like a wrecking yard or something, and then in the front was like a tiny little trophy shop. We went in and we were standing there for ages, and everything smelled like everything. I don't know what it was, but something smelled like a cross between like piss and like corned beef, like a real corned beef kind of. Couldn't work out what they smelled, and we were standing there for ages, and it was ringing the bell and everything, and this bloke kind of sticks his head out of this door behind us. I mean, in front of us. He was kind of behind the counter, and he kind of looked out. He looked really scared. And I'm like, he's like, "Are you right?" I said, "Yeah, we want to kind of buy a plaque or something, you know." And he goes, "Oh, hang on a minute." And he kind of looked back out. He looked back in the room. He kind of like come out of the room and shut the door. Like, it was really creepy.
Right.
I remember it was colours. Oh yeah, so we got the plaque and everything like that. I had a point to this, but I can't remember where I was going. We got the plaque. What happened?
To turn out to be like a meth lab or something like that.
Something happened like way later, like where we were like, that's that plate. Oh, I can't remember. Something happened where like what was it? Anyway, they ended up being in the paper for some reason. Like, I can't remember if someone died in there or it was a drug thing or something like that. But anyway, so the Smith Street Band had this plaque from some dude that, I don't know, maybe killed somebody. And I think the Bennies have got one too. We ended up doing it for them. It ended up becoming like this long-running thing. We kind of go and get a plaque made up of them. I think we stopped going there, but...
Fair enough.
But apart from that, just, yeah, I don't know. After shows, we'd always go back and have house parties with a friend of mine, Hammond's. And I guess they were the funnest times, just kind of seeing people that you'd probably heard on the radio or seen on the telly and stuff, like reading out, that kind of thing. Just getting really bombed and, yeah, just stuff like that. They're the things that stick out for me, like just, not so much the shows. I mean, I don't remember the shows that much because I was always working and stuff. But it was mainly like kind of afterwards there, the times I remember the most. Yeah. There's not many crazy stories, so everyone's been pretty good. You know, a few broken windows and a few fire hoses turned on and that kind of thing. But yeah, no, everyone was pretty well behaved, I have to admit. All the people we've had up. Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot for being a part. Thanks again for wanting to be part of the doco, man. I really appreciate it, dude.
Fucking nice, bro. It's awesome, man.
All right.
Sick.
First question: what's your name, the band you're in, and how long have you been playing for?
My name's Nikos. Fucking into Boglers, good time Aussie Boglers. Guitar player in a band. One of the songwriters. We've been fucking playing gigs for probably 5, 6 years, 7 years, since about 20 fucking 13, I think. But we've been around a long time before that, so yeah, we've been sort of going, chipping away and fucking playing as much as we can.
Why should people go to shows, in your opinion?
Fucking heavy shows, like underground, dirty sort of shows, like, you know, fucking people are too attached to fucking screens, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you can fucking go see some action, you know, fucking get out, see what's going on, you know. The scenes are fucking crazy, like, every scene's insane, you know. But, you know, if you go to fucking, if you like music, you know, why the fuck are you staying at home, you know? Get out and fucking get into it, you know what I'm saying? People just sit at home, they don't think about it too hard, you know? Bullshit.
So what are some of the good things about the about the underground music scene right now?
You're in Sydney, yeah?
Yeah, but the question's about in general. in general. Although you can talk
You
about.
see Uncle Geek last night?
Unfortunately, I was filming something else, and I really wanted to, but like I had said yes to filming something ages ago that I couldn't really get out of.
Fucking Uncle Geezer a fucking badass. Live scene, man. What was the question?
What are some of the good things about the scene right now?
Mate, the bands are the fucking. That's what's good about it. You know what I'm saying? Like Geezer, fucking, you know, Durry, fucking all those dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like all the bands that are involved in this underground run. You know, like that's fucking awesome, man. You know, fucking bands are popping up everywhere, and everyone's fucking all about being into the community, not about fucking trying to outdo each other, riffing or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's fucking in it to like support the other bands and get interested in their tunes and fucking rock out to their stuff. So that's what I like about the scene, man, because everyone's, you know, open arms and it's a team. You know what I'm saying? So I love it.
On the same note, what could be improved?
Fucking, that's a tough one. Like, it depends what scene you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like the heavy shit. Sometimes you don't want to oversaturate. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying. So you just can't play every week or every day. Sometimes that's how we feel. Like if you just keep grinding it, you know, you got to pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? So like the big gigs, you know what I'm saying? Like the big sort of all day gigs. They're the fucking guts, you know what I'm saying? They're the gigs to do, you know, those big sort of festival type gigs, you know, sprinkle a few gigs around, a couple of tours up and down, you know what I mean? Like anytime someone's coming down, everybody should be, you know, trying to organise the big festival sort of scene, because that's how you get more bands there, more people there all day, so people walk past, they want to check it out, you know what I'm saying? So that just adds to the hype, and gets the crowd, you know what I'm saying? So you can fucking enjoy the gigs a bit more. Because playing to no one fucking sucks ass, I'll tell you that.
So how is Melbourne compared to Sydney or other places in Australia or even the world?
I've only really played in Australia, so I don't know about over the world. I know the Australian scene is fucking off its guts right now, like this sort of punky kind of heavy, thrashy kind of fucking scene. Whatever's going on is going off, you know what I'm saying? So, Melbourne compared to Sydney, I'm from Ballarat, so I'm not from Melbourne, you know what I mean? So, fucking, when I see a gig in Melbourne a lot, sometimes it gets loose, but 90% of the time it's a lot of hands in pockets and kind of nodding along, not a lot of action. But when Sydney comes around, it's fucking action time, man. That's what I like about Sydney. It's fucking action-packed, and I reckon because you guys up in Sydney, you got a problem because they're always trying to shut down your venues, but you guys just fucking put on gigs out the arse in awesome spots, and because you're fighting against fucking all these venues to try and find a space, everybody comes out in fucking droves and goes hard as shit and fucking always has a mosh and always has a fucking good, you know, hard pit, and everyone loves it up there, you know. Melbourne, that doesn't happen quite as much, you know what I mean? Like, Melbourne's a bit more kind of, you know, everyone's trying to be real trendy or whatever, you know, so, yeah, that's why I get up in Sydney. I like it up there, man. It's a fucking good spot. I went to Bondi, man. Bondi's the fucking dark scar, so.
What are your thoughts on the community and how everyone kind of knows each other?
Say that again, sorry?
What are your thoughts on the community aspect and how everyone kind of knows each other?
Yeah, that's what I like about it, man. I've played in a few different bands over the years and, like, you know, in a couple of different scenes. You know, and in some of the scenes it's a bit hard to kind of communicate if everyone's too cool or whatever, you know, sometimes. So, when people are on the same page, and it's not about who's the best songwriter, who's got the best riffs, whose singer's better than the other singer, when it comes down to everyone just fucking enjoying everyone's tunes, that's when you know you're on a winner, you know what I mean? Like, everyone just comes down to just fucking check out the other band's tunes. You play, they check out your tunes. Bands are swapping singers, singers are jumping up. The other week, we played a gig with Rooted. Rooted come down to fucking Melbourne. Gabe had a fucked throat. And for the gig, fucking Roscoe from fucking Giza and, what's his other band's name? His guitar playing Giza. And then fucking Frankie Grudge from fucking Grudge and Greed Signs. They just fucking vocaled off against each other all night, just both squealing. When one had stopped, the other one played the next bit, and they just went bang, 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 and just did the whole set for Rooted. Gabe didn't even sing a note, just fucking bang, bang, bang. Two dudes in the front of the crowd going off, you know, like.
Wow, that's...
People don't give a shit about that sort of stuff, you know, like people just get up, fucking, you know, you take the song, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just do what your interpretation of the song is, and that's fucking, that's wild, you know?
Mm. That's pretty cool, actually. I know Gabe, and I'm gonna be editing some of the footage from that Melbourne tour thing, so it'll be interesting to see some footage of that.
Yeah, I hope you got footage of that shit, man. That was the wild shit. I was too busy out the front pushing everything around, or getting pushed around.
Any crazy stories that have happened whilst going to a gig or playing at a gig?
Always fucking heaps of crazy stories, man. Kangaroos hitting it, that's a cunt. That's a bad one. Hitting the kangaroos always a cunt of a time. But yeah, gigs are wild, you know, like every gig's individual, you know, and every gig's fun, you know, one way or the other, so it's kind of, you know, you can fucking talk about a million stories, you know what I'm saying, but it's experience, you know what I'm saying, so that's why fucking people should be getting down to shows, you know, so they can experience what the shows are like and what the vibe's like, and you know, how good the fucking bands are. You know, like there's so many good riffs out there, and people are dropping so many awesome albums because like their ideas are right, you know what I'm saying, so they can just continue to fucking write good songs, follow their idea, and fucking bang. You got a winner. You know?
Do you think the underground should stay underground?
Yeah, because it's not, like, mainstream's fucking popcorn shit. You know what I mean? Like, mainstream shit's fucking what they're telling you to fucking think about, you know? Like, have some fucking phones and shit, you know what I mean? Like, fuck that. Like, that's what's good about the underground, is it's fucking underground. And people get in there and they fucking have a beer, spill beer, have a fucking headbang, have a hip and shoulder, have a laugh, you know? Fucking do whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's more fun about it. You're not kind of controlled, and you don't have to fucking worry about it. You just enjoy the fucking crew, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, mainstream is bullshit. It's a fucking myth anyway, I reckon.
So what are your thoughts on bands that started out on an underground local level and then have suddenly shot up due to, like, being played on Triple J or just a lot of people finding out about them?
Fucking good on them, man. Good on them. If they're fucking putting in the energy and the time and shit to do that, man, fucking, you know, you hit it, you run with it, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you see bands hit it and they don't run with it, so if bands are hitting it and run with it, fucking go for it, man. Fucking do those tours, get that fucking experience. I'm not telling anyone not to do it, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying fucking just do what you want to do, so if bands make it and fucking want to fly it and run it, shit, go get it, you know? Fucking go get it.
So what are some good venues to just go and see a show or to play on?
Venues. I know I want to come up to Sydney and do that backyard one that everyone fucking looks like they go to, that backyard gig. That'd be a good venue. That's one I haven't done. Haven't done the Yard of Retard in Adelaide either. That's another one I want to go do. Venues, you know. Fucking love the Valve up in Sydney. It's a shame what happened to the Valve, but fucking that was a ripper. Hopefully it pops up and fucking continues, because yeah, that was a perler. Good vibe, good room. In Melbourne, upstairs at the Totes, not a bad one if you want a fucking pretty brutal one. Shit, man. Last Chance Rock and Roll Bar's a good joint. They're good people down there too, so any venue that gives you a gig is a fucking good venue, you know. So that's the luxury of being down here. Is that fucking there's so many rooms that you don't have to really worry about it. You know what I mean? Everyone gets a Guernsey somewhere, so you can just fucking shop it, find somewhere.
Very true. So what are some bands that if people aren't listening to already, they should be?
Good bands out there. Fucking, where we start, like Ballarat. So in Ballarat, we're from Ballarat, the Boglers of Ballarat. Fucking Tsunali of Ballarat. Bunyip, they're like half Melbourne, half Ballarat, half fucking New South Wales, half all over the joint. But we claim them. They can be Ballarat. Geese are fucking rippers. But I reckon they're taking a hiatus, which is a fucking problem because they're fucking awesome. Who else in Melbourne? Frankie Grudge, man, he works hard as fuck. Every band he's involved with works hard as fuck. Grudge and Agreed Science and all those dudes. Man, everything that Immaculate Defecation's putting on gig-wise in Melbourne. So, like, No Cash and all those dudes, man. And definitely Defenestration as well. They're like half Melbourne, half Geelong. Twin Guitar Attack. They're fucking wild. Fucking Sydney bands, man. I recently checked out the Blurters, you know. I've never fucking heard of them, man. We don't get Sydney shit down here, you know what I'm saying? So I checked out the Blurters. I reckon they're right up my list of fucking mad dogs. Fucking dudes we play with up there, like fucking Lukey Sledge out of fucking, he's out of Grim. He's a fucking legend, man. He took care of us when we come up there, so he's fucking getting a Christmas card, you know what I'm saying? Fucking, I love fucking Loose Unit. Love those dudes. Love fucking Durry. Fucking Rooted. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Gooch. I think Gooch is probably my favourite fucking band in Australia, man. Gooch. Gooch is the fucking man now. I fucking like Gooch, you know. He's funny as fuck, eh? So, a lot of time for Gooch. Gooch. That video gets around down here. Every cunt fucking watches Gooch. Every cunt loves Gooch. So, fucking, yeah, he's a fucking mad dog, eh? And then fucking over in fucking South Australia, fucking Sickness, you know, they're old school. They fucking take care of us when we go over there. Sickness. Dan Pearce, he's the fucking mayor of fucking Port Pirie. When I went to their joint, they had a fucking wall, CD on his fucking CD player in his grow house. When I got to his house, so I was just like, fucking hell, what's going on here? Bit of war for Ballarat. There's a Ballarat band, you know. And Damage too. Damage are old school and gone, but they're Ballarat. So War and Damage, you know, they're the bands to check out. You know that everybody should know about old school, and you know, new school's fucking all about the fucking uprising of these motherfucking mad cunts playing in sick bands.
Yeah.
Huge.
That question is like a double thing because it works with the doco and also I get to find out about new bands, you know?
Yeah, you know all these bands though, wouldn't you, like?
I definitely know all the Sydney bands you've mentioned, and I've interviewed Jay, the guy from the Blurters. I've interviewed Durry. I've interviewed Rooted. I interviewed Gooch, but I lost the footage.
You'll have to redo him.
Yeah.
Let me see how the Gooch is the funniest cunt on the planet.
Yeah, I was kicking him.
Another good dude's fucking who's doing good things. Jai from fucking Crank.
Yeah, I've interviewed him as well.
Hey?
I've interviewed him as well.
Yeah, he's a good guy, Jai, the metal guy. He's I met him when we went to Adelaide, and he come with us up to Port Pirie, and we fucking had a good night, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, he's a good guy, man. And what he was saying was ridiculous, because like coming from Melbourne and that, like in certain scenes, people don't kind of try and help you a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like there's scenes that everyone's trying to fucking get there and fucking be bigger than the other guy a bit in Melbourne, I find. You know, it's like in like the more, as you said, the mainstream, but like in the, like we're playing like hardcore sort of thrash punk, these cunts are kind of doing like a punky thing and playing it like with polish, bit of sheen on that shit, you know what I'm saying? So like, when this guy was talking, he was talking about Jai, he was saying about how the community, like, let's embrace and everyone should support everyone. And I was like, yeah, I wish that was the case. You know, this is a few years back or a couple back, and I was like, in Melbourne it's not like that, everyone's fucking... And then when we went to Sydney and fucking played with all fucking these mad cunts, like, then I felt that love. Do you know what I mean? Like, we felt like a part of that, you know. And then I thought about what Jai said, and he was like bringing that community thing, and I was like, man, that fucking dude, you know what I mean? That's the idea of it, like
working with each other, not against each other.
Hey?
Working with each other, not against each other.
Totally, man. Yeah, being a fucking community, and you know, and then no one's trying to step over anybody else. Do you know what I mean? Everybody just plays their tunes and just fucking has a beer with each other and has a laugh. You know, I mean, has a mosh or fucking whatever happens, and then at the end of the night you go have a couple beers somewhere else, fucking talk about some tunes, listen to some tunes, and fucking do it again. You know what I mean? That's what's great. Like, the Sydney cunts love coming down to Melbourne, the whole crew, you know what I'm saying? We're looking at coming back up soon. So we can't wait, man. We're fucking, can't wait to get back up to fucking Sydney, man. I love it up there. It's good weather, man. It's shit. You know, it's overcast all the time. You guys have got the fucking good weather. Fuck it.
Third last question. What are you hoping to achieve with your musical endeavours? You know, what do you hope to achieve with the bands you're in right now?
I'm only in the Boglers. The Boglers is the only band I'm in. Fuck, mate, like, we're just fucking cruising along. The idea of being creative and getting something done, that's like a fucking big appeal for me, you know what I'm saying? So, like, sitting down with the guitar and fucking riffing it, coming up with an idea, taking other cunts' ideas, you know what I mean? Because with our band, right, we've got a three-piece, but then, like, fucking King Cunt on the kit, man, he writes fucking a bunch of tunes. Another dude writes a bunch of tunes who does When to Read Sebastian, you know what I'm saying? So, like, and then I write a bunch of tunes, and now the bass player's writing a lot of tunes. Like, every cunt's writing a heap of tunes, so it's like, and then we bring in singers from all over the place. So, like, for us, what we're doing next is we're going to fucking expand on that shit, and we're going to start fucking getting the Sydney cunts and the Melbourne cunts. We're going to start putting, like, all-star appearances, you know, like, heaps of fucking people on the albums, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've already got, like, 5 singers or whatever doing different songs scattered on the albums, you know, a few of them anyway, so, you know, that's kind of what we've been fucking all about, is doing, giving every cunt a voice, you know what I'm saying? So now we're going to start putting one together with fucking Henners, and I've been talking to a couple other motherfuckers that I want to fucking, you know, sit down with and do a couple. We did one with fucking Benny, Big Bad Benny from fucking 100 Years War.
Oh, yeah?
100 Years War, they're over in Japan at the moment. You know Ben? He's a fucking wild man.
I've heard of the band. I haven't actually talked to him yet, but I might try and interview him.
Yeah, I haven't seen them. I think they're pretty... But yeah, we did like a day record with him, Homie Acid. That's fucking not bad, you know, Homie Acid. That's Benny on vocals with the Boglers. You know, so like, that's the game plan, you know what I'm saying? It's just fucking expand on what we're doing and fucking push it to the extreme, you know?
Second last question. So you've been in the underground music scene for a bit now. How has it changed over the time that you've been playing music for? Has it changed for the better or for the worse?
At the moment, fucking, it's all thumbs up. Like, doing fucking, like, sometimes when you're doing music, you know what I mean, you're thinking too hard about it, you know what I mean, and fucking, you know, sometimes, different scenes I've been in are weird, you know what I mean, I've been in like we did have a doom band called Nouse prior to this, which has had the similar members and sort of moved on a little bit to this, and Tsunali sort of was another sort of side project of that, you know what I'm saying? So like, in those scenes, like fucking, every cunt was just fucking trying to be real fucking heavy and wanting to be fucking man, you know what I mean? And like, as locals have come about and we've started, like, at the start, man, fucking no cunt knew what was going on, you know, and it took us a while to find, you know, these bands that we're fucking playing with. Like, we didn't just fucking go like that, you know what I'm saying? It was like, it was a progression where we started, we weren't sure what we were doing kind of thing, you know. All we knew was the brand of music we were playing was fucking cunt punk. That's all we knew. We were playing cunt punk. You know what I'm saying? That was our brand, you know what I'm saying? So, like, when we fucking started gigging, we didn't know, like, who any of these cunts were. We were, like, playing with this band and that band based on the strength of our last band, kind of trying to find our way. And then once we fucking got together with fucking Sledgy and fucking, you know, a bunch of cunts from over in Adelaide and a bunch of cunts in Melbourne, you know what I mean? Sort of, you know, fucking Bobby, who's been booking fucking Immaculate Death, you know, Mac Death. You know, once we hooked up with him and he's putting the scene together in Melbourne, you know what I mean? The scene's like connecting up with the cunts up in Sydney, you know what I mean? So the scenes are linking, and then fucking, you know, and then we're trying to push it around Adelaide and see what's going on around there too, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so everyone's trying to push, you know, community, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. It's fucking good, you know. You just gotta fucking keep pushing, and you know, good shit happens, man. Like, you fucking been aware of it and fucking helping push it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it's all about. Is like, it's not just the bands. It's the fucking cunts coming to the gig. It's cunts like you filming the gigs, shining a little spotlight on it. It's fucking the fucking people booking the gigs. It's the fucking bar staff, it's the security cunts, it's like the whole fucking thing, you know, sound dudes, engineering, fucking YouTube and shit, fuck, whatever, man, it's awesome, you know.
Last question, just plug your band, you know, plug your Bandcamp, your social medias and all that jazz.
Yeah, Bandcamp. I know, you just gotta look up Good Time Aussie Boglers. Yeah, we've got a fucking Facebook thing, and then there's the fucking Bandcamp. Just search Good Time Aussie Boglers. Got a YouTube thing. We make some fucking mad-ass clips. One of the dudes who sings, my fucking brother-in-law, fucking Rotten Ronnie. He does some art shit for us. So he did the last album's artwork with the fucking Nana who smokes chuff, fucking the Queen sucking the cone. Fucking, and you got fucking, you know what I'm saying? He's done a couple clips, you know what I mean? So get over the tube, check that shit out, get to the gigs, fucking, you know, check out the fucking, you know, the social media shit's all good, but, I mean, if any of these bands come in your fucking area, you gotta go fucking see the shit. Because that's where the fucking action is. So, get along.
Alright, thanks man, I really appreciate it.